Hello, everyone. We'll get started shortly.
Hello.
There you are.
We have the backwoods of Cleveland County as our backdrop.
We are live. We're going to start here just a few minutes.
Sounds good. I have the questions ready from the students. Hello, Terry.
That's right, Miss Lyon. Thank you. Happy birthday to our Dr. Shelton.
Thank you all. It's been a good birthday. Thank you, Josh.
You're welcome. We may do more of these. Talk to you directly. Why not?
I am definitely social distance, but I have to be in a place where I can pick up an internet signal or a cell signal for this. I can empathize with our students who have technology issues, as I'm one of those individuals, and I have to be in certain areas to even be able to have cell phone service. So that is why I am not inside, but rather outside on property that we have for hunting, actually.
Just about 1 minute and we'll get started.
Thank you, Jared. I love the background too. I would much rather be outside. And Devin, we will get to your question in just a few.
I think I have 6:30, so I want to welcome everyone to this Instagram Live with myself. I'm Don Killingsworth, the acting president, alongside Dr. Shelton and her glorious backdrop of Cleveland County. Our provost, happy birthday, Provost Shelton.
Thank you.
We're glad to be with you here with you tonight. We're going to answer some questions that have already been submitted. And if you have questions, please keep sending those through Instagram, and we'll try to answer them as fast as we can. If we don't get to everyone's question tonight, just please send us a message to JSU News, and we will try to answer your questions after tonight. To start with, any updates on housing for the summer? Housing for the summer will be available as normal. You can apply online under the housing section, and we'd encourage you, if you need housing for the summer, to do so. So yes, housing will be available for the summer. Dr. Shelton?
Yes, so I know there have been lots of questions surrounding the grading policy, and I want to change the reference to policy and call it a grading option. So I want to explain it very generally and broadly to begin with, and then I will go further down into the granular level with some specifics. So we are accredited, and for those of you that may not know, by SAC-COC, which is a regional accreditor, soon to be known as a national accreditor. And that accrediting body accredits the entire university. It's not program specific. And we follow their guidance that they send forth for situations such as this. And of course, this is unprecedented, but they have guided us along with other universities the entire way. They have actually supported a pass-fail or pass-no credit option for students. And as a result of their guidance and extensive research with other institutions in terms of what they were doing, as well as communication with state provost and regional provost through some webinars and some conferences, we determined that what would be best for our students is a pass no credit option. And when I say option, I'll explain that in just a moment. But I want to talk about why we said pass no credit instead of pass fail. With the pass fail option, which many universities are actually using, the F counts against the student's GPA. So we wanted to try to do something that was less punitive, and we looked at the pass no credit option because neither of those grades, the grade of P, which means pass, the grade of NC, which means no credit, would count against the student's GPA. The P would count as a pass toward the student's program requirements, and the NC would require that the student had to retake the course, which would be the same as if the student failed a course. So what the students can do is this. Letter grades will be assigned as normal, as we've always done, and those will be assigned, I think it's May the 1st, after 3:30 that day. So after 3:30, students can all log on and look at their letter grades. And there will be certain courses that you can choose if you don't like the grade, the letter grade that you received in that course, and the course is eligible, and I'll talk about that in a minute. You can choose to submit a request form for that grade, that letter grade, to be converted to a pass or no credit. So that is your choice as a student in consultation with the designated school official. We will be sending out the names of those designated school officials for you very soon so that you will know who those individuals are. It may be so simple that the designated school official looks at your request and it's a very easy to manage request and they approve it, move on, and you will get a notification of that approval. It may be that they need to consult with other people in your program, maybe the program coordinator or maybe the department head. So it may take a little bit longer for that decision to be made. They may decide to call you and say, hey, this would be our best advice for you. It looks like with your degree and your plans and what your program coordinator has told us that you want to go into graduate school. So maybe you do need to take the C instead of looking at a P grade. And those are just odd situations that may not be the case, but I was just trying to give an example. So your transcript may end up reflecting something like this. You may have an A in one course, you may have a P in one course, you may have a B in one course, and you may have an NC in one course. So all of those are options for you, and there's nothing that we're forcing on you. This is going to be a collaborative effort to get you to the best place possible with your grades. And I hope I've summed up the overview of the policy. Again, you will have a form available to you after grades roll, and grades are posted and viewable by you. You will have a form available to you. You submit the form, it goes to your designated school official, and you will receive an email approving or denying your request, and if your request is denied, you will receive information as to why. Certain programs cannot follow this policy due to specific program accreditation requirements like nursing, social work, education, And each of those deans, the deans of those schools, the program coordinators of those schools can provide more detail regarding the specific situations. But that is the gist of the policy. As far as the pass no credit affecting your standing on the dean's list, I see that question. We have an FAQ about that, but the gist of it is you do have to have 12 hours of GPA earning course credit to be eligible for the president's list or the dean's list. And again, there's more information about that on the FAQs. We tried to provide as much information to you as we could to help you be informed and make good decisions. So I will stop because the policy is extremely detailed for some. That's the general overview. And please know, again, it is an option. You will have the chance to review your letter grades, and then you will have a chance to submit the request, talk with someone if your request is questionable, or it may just be an automatic approval. So just wanted to let you all know that. And again, we're happy to answer any questions, but check the FAQs first because the deans have spent lots of time working on those.
Thank you, Dr. Shelton. I had one question. This is being recorded, and we will have it posted for you to go back and watch it again if you need to. And I think you have the next question as well.
I do. So at this time, we have not decided about the grading option for the summer. We have decided for the spring only. We are trying to make decisions in real time. And with a situation such as this that evolves by the second sometimes, we feel like we owe it to you, our students, and to the faculty to make decisions in a timely manner. And we will do that. We will inform you, and we will make sure we do the research behind it, and we will also wait to hear from our accrediting body.
Thank you, Dr. Shelton. Another question that came in, when will we be deciding a date for graduation? I've talked with the provost earlier today, and we're going to go ahead and announce on Instagram Live tonight that we'll be holding the spring graduation with the summer. That'll be July 31st and August 1st. We have not determined which day will be for the spring graduates, but we want them to have their own day, and it will be either July 31st or August 1st. And we're excited for that. You deserve a day that you can walk across the stage, graduates, and we're going to make that happen for you. The next one is plans for the fall of 2020. As of right now, we are planning for normal operations in fall of 2020. So everything hopefully will be back to normal, and we can continue operations as usual. And classes will meet in person. We'll have football games, hopefully, volleyball games, soccer games, all of our athletic events, and student organizations will be able to meet. Our SGA will hopefully be planning some activities over the summer virtually for when you return. But yes, plans for fall of 2020 are proceeding as normal.
And I think I have the next one.
Yes.
So summer rates, will they be adjusted since everything has been moved online? So one of the things we've tried to do the last couple of years is give our students a little bit of a break in the summer with tuition. And so we have been charging the in-person tuition or traditional tuition for online courses in the summer for the $324 per credit hour, and that will be the case this summer. So that will not be a change. That's been a practice that we've been doing. So just know that that will be the same again this year, and we will continue moving forward with that particular rate. And I think I have the next one too. So labs and preceptorships, how will they be handled during the summer term? So we are looking at this on a case-by-case situation because there are situations where students are in hospitals that we are having to work with the agency to see what the agency will allow us to do. We are looking at what businesses will allow us to do. So in conversations with the deans, we all are depending on our agencies to help provide us guidance as well as the accrediting bodies for those particular programs. So the deans are working on that right now. They're working through that. They're contacting the businesses, the agencies to see what their expectations are and their preferences. There are also lots of unique opportunities for us to participate, maybe in have the students participate in Zoom meetings with that particular business representative. have the students look at continuity of operations plans, have the students help with this disaster recovery planning, and a lot of that could potentially be done virtually. Now, I know clinicals cannot be for the most part, although they are looking at different options for that as well. So please stay tuned and know that the deans and the program directors and coordinators are working very hard to look at the recommendations from the accrediting agencies and to work with the individual agencies and the businesses in regards to their expectations and what they're doing.
Thank you, Dr. Shelton. Moving on to the next question that has been submitted. Will freshman orientation still take place? It is my goal to make sure that happens. It may not look the way it has in the past. We may have to alter dates and times, but we still want to offer that to our freshman class coming in because it is important. And what the information that the parents and the students learn during freshman orientation is vital to their success. So we're going to try to make sure that happens. And if we have to change the dates or alter the times, we'll do so. Next question, when will housing credits be issued and can they be applied to the summer term? This has been a popular question and I wish I had an easy answer. We are working on it. The university administration and staff have been working on it today and will continue tomorrow. Hopefully within the next couple of weeks, you will see some information come out about your credit for your unused housing and meal plan. So just bear with us. We're getting the information and processing as fast as we can. But just know over the next couple of weeks, we'll try to have that finalized for you so you can make plans for either the summer or the fall. And it is my goal, if you do receive a credit, you can apply that to the summer. And that has been another question. Dr. Shelton?
So I think I think we are, what resources are we providing students who do not have sufficient internet access at home? And then we can go back to the
I'm sorry, I
clean and
forgot
safe.
one.
That's okay. Do you want to go ahead?
Sure.
Okay.
Another question, what measures are being taken to make sure the campus is clean and safe for orientation? But we'll take that to a more global. We want to make sure the whole campus is safe and clean for everyone who returns, not just the students, but our faculty and staff as well. We have submitted bids and requests for proposals from cleaning companies to come in and work on buildings that have been vacant. Not all buildings are vacant at this time. For instance, some housing residence halls are still being used. So we can't clean. We don't want to clean the building and still have occupants that could contaminate the building. So we're having to go through that process. But when everybody comes back and when we ask for everyone to come back, rest assured that the administration will make sure that the buildings have been cleaned with the CDC guidelines, and we want to make sure everyone stays safe. So just know that we're taking care of that. And that does go for the orientation as well. All those buildings that are used during orientation will be cleaned as well.
Okay, so what resources are we providing students who do not have sufficient internet access at home? So our Chief Information Technology Officer is working very hard with other CIOs at other universities to figure out how they're handling this as well. And so one of the things that they're doing, and this would assist local students, so I'll talk about that first, is looking at having a Wi-Fi parking lot. And right now we're looking at different areas on campus where we could provide a strong Wi-Fi signal and allow people to be able to come and download those larger files and then be able to work at home once they download what they need. This is a challenge for the nation right now. There are many articles out there about how families of students in K through 12 are coping and handling this, as well as our college students. There are internet providers, and we have some resources listed in a document that we are keeping on hand to respond to our students regarding, and there are internet providers that have offered free internet service. The issue right now, though, is if you didn't have internet service, trying to get internet service is a 2 to 3 week delay in some instances. So we are trying very hard to work with our students, and what we need you to do is email your faculty member if you have a phone and have the ability to do that. let them know what is going on. Call them. If you can't reach them on the phone, many of the faculty will put a way to contact them in the course shell. Make sure that you're letting someone know your difficulties, because this is something that we've not dealt with before. People that usually take online classes do it because they have the ability to be successful doing that from home. This is new to all of us, including our faculty. We also are looking at different options as we continue on this summer online, as the CIOs are working together to try to figure out the solutions to this. So, like with many of the questions during this pandemic, there are no easy answers right now, and we're trying very hard to look at all of the options. We've reminded students that you can drive up to restaurants that have Wi-Fi, and a lot of times you can access it that way. That's not ideal, but I do want to just share a personal note with you all. I understand the challenges of limited internet access. I have had to participate in many Zoom meetings and team meetings, and we have very limited access where I live, which is why I'm where I am now. So I have conveyed your challenges on, representing your challenges to the team, and everyone understands how difficult it is to manage right now. So I ask that you continue to give us all some patience and grace as we work through this unprecedented time moving forward, and we will make sure that we are looking at every single option possible and communicating solutions as we find them.
Thank you, Dr. Shelton. I see the question just popped up. Do you want to skip to your next question to answer both?
Yes, I can skip to the one about improving student-teacher relations. So just as what I just said, let me reemphasize, this is an unprecedented time for everybody. We have faculty that have never taught online that converted to teach online with assistance from mentors and with assistance from online at JSU to get their classes ready to go. Some of the best advice that we received from various associations that we listen to regarding situations like this is don't expect things to be perfect. And we ask that you don't expect things to be perfect right now. Everybody is doing the very best they can. One of the questions that I saw go across was, what if people are not responding to you? So one of the things that we will do very, very soon, probably within 24 hours, is we will post a list of contacts for the different majors. It will be one contact for a number of majors, so that you can get in touch with that person for your particular concerns. Because we want to make sure that the faculty isn't missing your email somehow, or that there isn't an issue on the faculty's end with technology. So we're trying to look through all of that and make sure that people know that you're emailing, and they may be overwhelmed with emails, but our goal is to get back with you as soon as we can. And so just give us a little bit of patience and grace as we move through this. And I will also remind the deans to communicate with their faculty and to make sure that they're responding to you. So please know that that will be on my to-do list as soon as I get home tonight.
Thank you, Dr. Shelton. Another question, which kind of goes with the answer earlier. Have we made plans in case we can't return in August? We are working on that just in case. We want to be prepared. And if it comes that we are still sheltering in place, sheltering at home, midsummer, then we may have to make some tough decisions about the fall. We're not there yet. As I said earlier, we're preparing for the fall, planning for the fall as normal and with normal operations. And we'll continue to do so until otherwise. We had another question come in about Sodexo and maybe some possible issues about contact. They're working through credits as well, so I encourage you to be patient. But please contact Sodexo 256-782-7242 and just leave a message. If you don't get anywhere, then feel free to email me and I will assist you. That's donk@jsu.edu. We want to make sure everyone gets the credit they're deserved, since they're not utilizing the meal plan option, and the same with the housing. That's the only fair thing to do. All right, Dr. Shelton.
There were a few questions I saw about summer courses that were scheduled to be in person. Everything is being converted to online. I am not aware of any classes being canceled because of that conversion. If you have experienced that, I will give you my email just as Dr. Killingsworth did. It is cshelton@jsu.edu. So please feel free to email me, but give us just, an opportunity to pull your questions together, compile them, and try to get all the answers that you need. And I think that Dr. Killingsworth and I both are very willing to do this again, and some of the questions that aren't answered tonight or that maybe we've missed, we will make sure that we have the answers to those moving forward.
Yes, thank you for that. And I think our Vice President of Student Affairs, Terry Casey, has posted my email, and he'll probably do the same for Provost Shelton. I saw a question come back through. Hold on. Please keep submitting your questions as we go through. Tuition for the fall. Right now, we're still recommending to the board that there is no tuition increase to hold that steady. But we are a tuition and fee driven university on our budget, so about 70%. So I would just remind everyone that if we have a significant enrollment decrease, the option is there for us to have to increase tuition. That is not my goal, is not my plan. Right now, I'm recommending to the board that there is no tuition increase, and that's what we're going to continue to go forward. But if something changes in that, then just note that that is a possibility. Student athletes reporting in the summer. We'll have to work with the OVC and the NCAA when they start lifting the bans on practice and so forth. You'll have to wait for your coaches to answer that question for you. We don't have an answer at this point. Right now, we are planning for the fall sports to report on time, but if you have an early reporting time, then we have not made that decision yet.
I see a question about not receiving any emails or update from JSU about anything. How do I fix this? I think Buffy Lockett and Sydney both are on, and I will let them respond to that because they've had to address that before with students. So if you'll watch for their response. And Sydney and Buffy, this is Rachel. Rachel Nicole, it looks like. So if you will help her with that. And then I have a question about, since graduating seniors are getting ready to start grad programs or are busy now applying for grad school, can they take their current grade as their final grade just like the tornado semester? We are not encouraging students to do that. We are encouraging students to push through to the end, see what your letter grade is, and then make a decision based on the policy. We want to honor the fact that you paid for this semester. We want to provide you the education that you need and deserve, even if it is modified to some degree. But again, we are complying with our accrediting body's recommendations to finish this semester as strong as we can, and then allow you the option to look at your letter grades and then make a decision about whether or not you want to invoke the pass no credit option should your courses and or program requirements allow you to do so. So please know that we recognize the difficulty right now. We know that students have a number of priorities. Some students may be experiencing sickness. Some may be in situations where there's no income coming in due to being out of work, or their work requirements may have increased exponentially due to being an essential worker. So we ask that you just do the very, very best you can and move to the end of this semester. We're not that far away. And then look at your grades and then work to make a decision that is best for you at that time. We are aware that our faculty are trying to work very hard and provide some leniency and even adjust assignments as needed in certain situations. So we want you to get to the end and then evaluate things at that point. And that's what we encourage you to do.
And I echo that. Bay Marie 13, will graduating seniors be receiving the refund? Yes, please get with our student accounts, 245 Bib Graves, to get the further instructions on refunds. How did we come up with the number for the housing refund? It's basically a prorated amount. We take the number of days that you're in the residence hall and divide it, and that's how they come up with a specific number.
And
go ahead. I was just saying,
Josie,
keep your questions coming.
Josiana, I'm hoping I say your name right. Just to clarify, will the new grading criteria of pass-fail affect students' GPA in any way? So the P for pass, or and it's not a fail, it's a no credit. If it were an F for failure, it would affect your GPA, but it's not. But the P for pass or the NC for no credit, those do not affect your GPA in any way. They may affect completion of your program requirements. In other words, if you have a no credit applied to one of your courses, you would have to complete that successfully to meet program requirements in certain instances. But taking the P or NC option does not affect your GPA, and that is the reason we selected this option.
Scott from the Chanticleer, yes, the Board of Trustees will have a meeting on April 21st. They will not have their committee meetings on the 20th. They will just have their regularly scheduled board meeting, and it will be done virtually, maybe by telephone, but we will give more information to the public and to the press as soon as we have it. But yes, April 21st at 9 a.m.
Desiree, you said, or you asked, how can we be sure we're being graded properly by teachers who are seemingly computer technology challenged? So many of our faculty that are very technology savvy and have been teaching online have teamed up to help the faculty who have not. So has the staff at online at JSU. They have worked one-on-one with faculty. They are working in their courses. Many of the courses have more than one faculty member listed in them so that they can assist as needed. So we are working very hard to make sure that the grading is high quality and is accurate. So I hope that eases your mind a little bit and answers your questions.
E. Barfield has a scholarship committee already given out the general scholarships for next year. I think they've extended the deadline, and they are working on that. So I need to check to be sure, but I don't think they've awarded those scholarships at this point. But we will check for sure.
So the other question, if we have to retake for no credit, do we have to repay? Yes, you would. That's the same as if you had an F, which would mean you weren't successful in the course. So if your program requires you to be successful in a particular course, you would have to retake it and pay for it again in this situation as well as another situation. That's why we're working very hard to look at all your letter grades and figure out what you can receive a P for. In some instances, and this is the detail I didn't mention earlier because it's so specific to program requirements, in some instances a D can be converted to a P. But those are instances where that's allowable in the student's major. And one more point I want to make, and this is on the FAQs regarding the grading policy option, is that if you change your major after this decision is made, your new major requirements may differ from where you are right now. So I just wanted you to be aware of that, and that will be also conveyed to you on the request form so that you acknowledge understanding.
I see our Director of Financial Aid has chimed in. Non-renewable scholarships will not be renewed, if you were asking that question earlier. Thank you, Ms. Wiggins.
And Dr. Messer, who is the Vice President for Enrollment Management, has said the general scholarship deadline was February the 1st, and those scholarships are in the process of being awarded.
So you should be, if you're going to receive a scholarship, they'll be in communication with you soon. Other questions? Well, I know we're approaching our 30-minute time limit here. We'll be glad to do this again at any other date and point. We're happy to do so. That's why we're here. I just want to take a personal moment to say thank you to our faculty, staff, and students. This is not an easy time. Uncharted waters. You can use all the cliches you want. We're trying to do our best here at the institution and the administration. We have a good team in place. Just know that when we do return to normal, and we will, that we'll be ready for you. And if you have questions, please let us know. We're here for you, and we want to make sure you have the best experience possible at JSU. And again, this is going to be recorded, so you can play it back if you need to. I will turn it to Dr. Shelton for any final comments.
I want to answer one more question. Is it beneficial? This is John. Is it beneficial to take the pass no credit option if you have an A letter grade? No, just leave your A on your transcript. That's perfectly fine. And I also want to echo what Dr. Killingsworth says. This is a very difficult time for everybody. It's difficult for you. It's difficult for our faculty. It's difficult for our staff. It's difficult for us. And we have worked very hard to make sure that we are taking into account what you're experiencing and the difficulties that you have before you. So please know that also an encouraging video from our faculty will be forthcoming very soon. I think you will find some consolation in that, and you will really feel the compassion that they have for you as our students and the encouragement that they are wishing upon you. And so that should be coming, I would assume, within the next 24 hours or so, I hope. So just look for that, because it's a personal touch from our faculty to let you know that they want you to be encouraged and they want you to be strong during this time, and that they are indeed here for you. We wish you all the best and appreciate our faculty, staff, and everybody that's been a part of this process. It has been no small feat for sure, but we wish you all the best, and I agree with Dr. Killingsworth. We're both willing to do this again, and we'll just keep the backdrop the same since I don't have good internet service.
It's a great backdrop. And don't forget, social distance, shelter at home if you can. Let's try to flatten this curve, and we're going to emerge on the other end stronger. So thank you all for tuning in. Continue with your questions, suggest you news, and we will talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.